Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Counterpunch, where we sit, talk bullshit about the fight game. I'm RJ Bam. I appreciate y'all being here with me, man. Who saw these fights this weekend? They were crazy. Now, I didn't see all of them. I had a lot of shit going on, but I caught the highlights. Wasn't the best card, especially coming off the last card, but this card I think was better. But before the card even started, we saw some of the face-offs. The one that stands out is the one that they marketed was that Khalil Roundtree face-off where the dude comes up and just screams in his face, and they turned that shit into a meme. Khalil Roundtree just turned himself into a meme, but he jumped back and was like, "The fuck is this wrong? The fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? What are you screaming for, bro?" I've never seen that, actually. I've never seen somebody come up and just Hulk scream in somebody's face like that. He was hyped. That motherfucker drank all the coffee before the fight. Not even the fight, before the or before the face-off. But he drank all the coffee, the nitro brews. He took the 5-hour energy, and he might have snorted a little bit of cocaine before that fucking thing. And usually when fighters do wild shit like that before, at the press conference, leading up to the fight, anything like that, usually I feel like they get humbled in the fight, right? I'm usually like, oh. Usually the ones that act out get wilding out like that are just talking mad shit. Like, there's very few times where someone just talks mad shit and backs it up. But that was one, and I was like, oh man, Khalil about to fucking Muay Thai whoop this motherfucker in the fight. Because Khalil, ever since he was doing well, and then he had that loss to the that one tall motherfucker from Brazil. Fuck is his name, man? I'm horrible with names. Lost to him, and then was like, yo, I need to figure this shit out. That's when he went to Thailand, started working on that Muay Thai, came back, and we saw him do work against Eric Anders, and Eric Anders is no fucking joke. Eric Anders is a motherfucker, and Khalil came out and did some work. The only thing we were worried about is the only thing that I saw, because you're so focused on Muay Thai, is like, how is your ground game? And they were saying, we do a lot of wrestling out here. We got a wrestling team. But the fight came and Khalil just kept getting taken down over and over and over and over. So, I was a little bummed out about that because I'm a big Khalil Roundtree fan. But yeah, he did get worked in the first round. But you know who didn't get worked in the first round? Goddamn Jared Cannonier. Cannonier is the truth at middleweight, bro. He is somebody to be reckoned with, bro. He is not playing around no more. He was a guy that was up at heavyweight, looked fat as fuck, cut down to light heavy, still a little chunky, and cut down to middleweight. And he is the perfect example of a fighter that is fighting at the right weight class, because he's doesn't look flat. He's cutting down. He was undisciplined at heavyweight, and he came down all the way to middleweight. And at 185, man, he is Shredsville. He is yakakakakak. You know what I'm saying? There's very few people that when they cut down for a fight, usually they look super depleted. Their faces all sunken in because they're dehydrating themselves, trying to get down to a certain weight class to try to get some sort of advantage. And this dude, Jared Cannonier, fucking came down to 185 and just is like a fucking gorilla. And his name is Killer Gorilla, isn't it? Isn't that his nickname? And he did fucking work in the first round. Took care of Hermanson. I don't fucking know, bro. I just know Jared Cannonier did some fucking work. Let me see what that motherfucker's name was. Jack Hermanson. Hermanson. I don't know, bro. And that was a first round KO. That's fucking, he is a motherfucker, bro. What's next for Cannonier, bro? He's climbing the ranks at middleweight. Right now we got the big middleweight battle coming up this weekend. And there's some people to be fucked with at middleweight, bro. Yeah, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the fucking Cuban assassin, big old Yoel Romero, who just lost to Paulo Costa in that really, really close decision. He's a motherfucker up there, so Khalil might climb the ranks that high. I don't know how far up Khalil is. Let me see if they changed. Let's see if Khalil has his, where they rank Khalil now. Let's see if I can find this real quick. If they have, or did I say Khalil? Sorry, Cannonier. If they have Cannonier going any higher now, the Killer Gorilla. Oh shit, he's, as of yesterday, he is number 5 in the UFC middleweights. Oh shit, let me see the middleweight rankings right now. This is interesting. UFC Mixed Martial Arts Middleweight Division. Fucking tell me all the top rank middleweights, bro. Jesus Christ. I want to see who the top rated middleweights are. You son of a... I don't want to know just the champions. Let me just exit out of here. Let me do UFC middleweight rankings, right? And Jared Cannonier. Ooh, Gastelum. Gastelum is at 4 right now. Holy shit. So we got the champ Robert Whittaker, who's fighting this weekend against Israel Adesanya, who's number 1. Paulo Costa jumped to number 2. Yoel Romero still at number 3. Kevin Gastelum at 4. Jared Cannonier at 5. And then I heard Chris Weidman's trying to move up. So he's 5th rank right now after he beat Hermanson. And so now the only people ahead of him are Yoel Romero and Kevin Gastelum. And Paulo Costa is waiting to see who wins between Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya. And then whoever wins that has got to fight that fucking Brazilian beast. So we have either Yoel or Kevin. And between the two, I think Kevin is already... Isn't Kevin sanctioned to fight Darren Till next? I believe is what's happening. So I guess if Cannonier wants, he could fight Yoel. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting because Yoel is an interesting cat. Very loosey-goosey, and then all of a sudden strikes. Loosey-goosey, all of a sudden explosion. Loose, snake-like explosion. So that Cannonier being at 5th rank is very, very interesting for that. Now, some other news in the fight game. DC saying he wants one more fight. One last fight before he retires. And that fight is the rubber match against Stipe. He wants that one back. He wants to leave on top. Stipe kind of ruined the party for him when he lost his championship to him. Man, DC went from a guy who won the double champ belt, light, heavy, and heavy, and then beat Stipe, defends the belt a couple times, and then I literally thought they were going to try to do... I think they were trying to do the Lesnar fight for the big money for DC, but Lesnar is just... It's just too hard for Lesnar to come back. Him being in the testing pool and trying to do the WWE all at the same time, it's never going to work. So, and as long as they have that testing pool thing going on, I mean, he's not going to be able to get out of the testing pool long enough to, like, not fight in the WWE. And then, so the only other fight that I saw for him, which I've wanted to see for so long, is DC John at heavyweight. And that is the motherfucker of motherfucker fights. Because DC at heavyweight is a lot stronger. He's a lot less depleted. And then at the same time, I think John Jones can come up and work motherfuckers at heavyweight. And John Jones did tweet a little while ago that he's got some big news coming up. So, and part of me thought it was John Jones DC. Part of me thought it was John Jones Stipe, and I was like, oh, champ versus champ, now that Stipe got the belt. But they're trying to headline Stipe and DC for the third and final match of DC's career. And so then I go, who can John Jones fight? What big news is he talking about, and the only thing I can think of at heavyweight, which I think look, ain't nobody trying to fight, ain't nobody trying to watch a John Jones fight at light heavy. There's nobody left, bro. Okay, Dom Reyes, that's an option, and the tall motherfucker that beat Khalil Roundtree, that had to go get shoulder surgery. That dude, I can't remember his name. Why can I not remember his name? The goofy ass tall motherfucker. Both Dom and him, super tall guys. They both might be taller than John, and those are the only two fights. Really left for John. Who else? I mean, I know that Chris Weidman has mentioned going up because Chris Weidman said, "Yo, I shocked the world when I beat Anderson Silva to take the belt from him." And I think, in my heart of hearts, I honestly believe that going up to light heavy, I'm going to shock the world again by fighting John Jones and beating John Jones. And that is a fight that I'm interested in seeing. And more than anything, I really thought that... what's his name? The fucking Ralph Lauren Versace model, or not Versace, but Ralph Lauren model, Luke Rockhold. I really thought Luke Rockhold was gonna go up and do fucking work at light heavy, and I think you see Luke Rockhold is just it's just not in there anymore, you know? And so, and why would it be? I mean, he's got a full fucking contract as a model. Why are you trying to get punched for a living when you can make easy money that way? Now, that big news that John Jones is talking about, I think, is the only thing I can think of is him going up to heavyweight and fighting Francis Ngannou. That's the only fucking thing I can think of. There's nothing else up there for him. And for him to go up and do that is... oh man, what an interesting fight. You have polar opposites. Both tall guys. You got the strongest puncher in the fucking world. One fucking hand lands on you and you going night-night. Then you got John Jones, who is arguably the GOAT. Who can go up and ground game, got it. Distance control, got it. The only chink in his armor is John is now getting older. He's a little bit, he's not the same John Jones as he was 5 years ago, where you start to see few chinks in his armor. He's not as fast, he's not as that killer thing is not quite there as much as it used to be, and he's slowly starting to slow down, just slowing down a little bit. And I think that's when Weidman's like, yo, I see that chink in his armor, I want to go up, I want to be the guy that beats him. So I totally see Weidman trying to do that. But I think the only thing I can think of for John Jones that he's talking about, I think, is Francis. And what an interesting matchup between the two. You got lanky, tall John, and you got big old cock diesel Francis Ngannou, the power puncher, who's coming in with a lot of confidence, been knocking motherfuckers out. The only thing that I know that he wants back is that fight against Stipe, and if I am the UFC, I do Stipe DC, and I do John Francis, and the winner of each one of those faces off each other. That's what I do. That's how I set that up. But Stipe DC, man, the DC got the first one on him. Stipe got that one back, and it's probably even money going into that third fight. But DC got to find a better way of not taking shots to the stomach like he did last time. He was definitely doing the dirty boxing, getting on the inside. He landed some shots on Stipe. That long layoff for Stipe definitely paid off for him because he was able to recover. Those shots he was able to take a lot better this time around, and those body shots he landed on DC. Like DC did what DC did. He just completely disrespected Stipe's shots. He was like, yo, these aren't affecting me. He's punching me, he's jabbing me in the face, but I don't feel it. I don't feel none of this. And those body shots started to wear, and then you know what I mean. And then finally Stipe did work and got that one back. But we'll see, man. But before Weidman goes up to fight John, he does have to fight Dom Reyes, and they do have Chris Weidman, Dom Reyes set for October 18th, so it's like 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks from now. So that should be an interesting fight. I don't know how much longer Weidman wants to stay at middleweight. Oh no, sorry, not middleweight, but that's his first fight at light heavy. That's right. Before he fights, so I guess he already made the move. I guess he made the move up to light heavy. So Dom Reyes is his first. Wow, they're really giving him Dom Reyes, huh? They really giving him Dom Reyes right off the bat, because Dom Reyes is like top 5 light heavy, isn't he? And Weidman going out there for his first fight. Does that mean Jan Blachowicz or whatever, the one that knocked out Luke Rockhold, is he gonna get the next shot at John Jones? I wonder. But yeah, so Dom Reyes, Chris Weidman set for October 18th. That's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a good test for Weidman moving up in weight for the first time. Dom is not an easy target for him to hit. He's a tall motherfucker. And, man, that's a tough fight for Weidman, man. That is a tough fight for Weidman, especially against Dom, who's climbing the ranks, who's hungry, and he's looking for that belt. And then all of a sudden you get thrown this fucking middleweight coming up. He's going to be like, yo, if he doesn't respect Weidman enough to like really take him seriously, I could see it going Weidman's way, but that's a tough fight for Weidman, man. I see Dom really showcasing his reach and length in that fight. But they finally did reset Yair and Jeremy Stephens for October 18th on the same card as Dom Reyes, and so that would be good. I know Mexico really was pissed off that fight didn't go through, and then right after that fight not got canceled, but like right after they called that fight as a no contest, there was this weird thing. Yair and Jeremy Stephens like encountered each other in like a hallway or in the lobby or something. They were pushing each other, talking shit, screaming at each other, yelling slurs. So they're both pretty amped up about it. And man, excuse me, Stephens is not the type to just quit. That motherfucker went to Mexico 6 weeks early just to get acclimated to that climate, to get acclimated to that the height of the not the weather, but the what am I fucking trying to say? Get acclimated to the, like, you know what they're talking about, the altitude. Jesus fucking Christ. Trying to get acclimated to the altitude over there, and he was training hard for that fucking fight. Sad that he got poked in the eye, but he is not somebody who just like, trust me, he's not somebody that's just gonna be like, hey, let me try to find a cop out here. And if he could bang, he would have banged. But yeah, that I know you don't want to fight under those circumstances, so I'm really happy that they rescheduled that. They're technically calling it Yair versus Stephens 2, which, I mean, you could just call that one 1, because the 1 never happened in the first place. But that one's also set for the same card, so I was saying Yair in 4 rounds. I said Yair with a fourth round TKO last time, and because they were fighting in Mexico, home field advantage, yada yada. But this time around, pretty sure it's Vegas. If I'm Yair, I'm worried about this fight, man. Stephens coming in, getting pissed off after everything that happened, coming in. I think Jeremy Stephens is gonna want to go in there and set the tone early and do fucking work. So this time around, man, I put my money on Stephens this time around. So I would be worried if I'm Yair. I saw Francis Ngannou post about Fast 9, bro. He's in the new Fast and Furious, so good for him. And it's not like it's a big ass part, you know what I'm saying? He ain't the fucking lead in the movie. He probably just went in for like maybe a month tops to go in and do the shoots. So good for him, bro. Getting those roles, getting some money, getting paid. He's making a name for himself and getting a little bit of side business happening while he's still in the UFC. So, and it's not something that's so time consuming that it's going to take away from his training. It's just a small little part. Get in, get money, and get out. I doubt if he even has a talking role in the goddamn movie. You can't understand what he's saying, so he might just grunt. You know what I'm saying? He might just be grunting in the movie and punching motherfuckers. But damn, bro, what a fucking story for that guy. In the streets of Cameroon, homeless, fucking digging sand dunes and like fucking taking a shovel and digging graves. And I don't know what the fuck he was doing out there in Cameroon. Finally moves to France to train, makes his way over to the UFC with this most insane... I heard this motherfucker doesn't even drink protein shakes because he doesn't want any tainted shit in his body. The motherfucker's just literally eating chicken and fucking, I don't know, sweet potatoes or something. I don't know what he's eating, but he is yakakaka. That's just straight genetics. That Cameroonian genetics. And what a fucking story. The rags to riches, and then now to be in a fucking Fast and Furious of all things, man. He's on Fast and Furious 9. They're going to make that movie for the next 20 years. There's going to be please believe that there's going to be Fast and Furious might be the first franchise to hit 20 movies. You know what I'm saying? They were already trying to target 10, and that was before Paul passed. And now they're definitely going to do 10. They're probably going to do 20. They're going to do that shit forever. One last ride doesn't always mean one last ride. Fast and Furious 22. But good for him, man. Make that fucking money. Make a name. Get some recognition. What a fucking story for that guy. And when he comes back, I know he's gonna want the winner of DC Stipe. If I'm him, I'm hoping Stipe wins the rematch just so I can get that one back on Stipe, because I know he only wants to fight for the title. But there is another man that he might be willing to face because it's a big name fight. It's a big name fight, and it will make a lot of money for him, and that man is John Jones. If that's actually true, holy shit. Get your fucking popcorn, because who knows what the fuck is going to happen. Another thing that finally got set, Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington, set to headline UFC 245 December 14th. A lot of good fights in December, son. A lot of good fights in December. I'm so glad that they worked that one out, because that was one of those fights that I needed you to set it the fuck up, okay? UFC, I don't care what you gotta pay. Make this shit happen. Make this shit happen. And they did. They delivered. They said, hey, they're both set. They signed the fucking contracts. December 14th, you gonna get the final. You gonna see who's really on top of the fucking of the what the fuck middle of the welterweight division. I have no idea what's gonna happen in that fight. They're almost the fucking same fighter, except one's black and one's white. It's about it. One's literally Nigerian from a third world country coming in to do work, and the other one is wearing Make America Great Again hats and repping Trump and doubling down on whatever the fuck he's standing for. And literally could not be polar opposites. Both fight with the same style. Who knows? They both got great cardio. They both are pressure fighters. They both put a pace on you that they don't stop and pull back from. Once they hit the gas, they just keep going. They do not pull back. And both phenomenal wrestlers, both high strike numbers because they pin you up against the cage and strike away and wear you down. They both want to break you mentally. Both similar fighters. Kamaru's got the strength and height advantage. I believe Colby is a little bit more of a decorated wrestler, Division 1 versus Division 2, but who knows, man. They've both been talking a lot of shit for a long time, and it finally comes to head December 14th. Holy shit, tune into that fight. I cannot fucking wait. No idea what the fuck is going to happen in that fight. I do know who I'm rooting for. I'll tell you that. I know who I'm rooting for. Kamaru Usman. Because I fucking love all the Nigerian fighters on the fucking UFC roster, bro. All African fighters. You know what? And even like all foreign black fighters. Like, I love Ngannou, even though he's more confident now that he took that loss and then he knows what it is to face loss. But that Cameroonian Hulk is a beast. I love Israel Adesanya. He and we'll talk about Izzy in a second. Izzy is on pace to be the biggest star the UFC has ever seen, and I'll tell you why in a second. I love Kamaru Usman, and I also love. I know he's Jamaican, but I love. What's that motherfucker? The backpack down in the bantamweights. Fucking. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? Oh, no. I'm picturing it in his head, can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Nigerian fighters, I'm all about. Which leaves us, and Wilder Ortiz set for November 23rd, which is my birthday month. Yo, I feel like Wilder always fights in November. Is it just me, or does Wilder only fight in November? I swear to God, bro. That is like, he's like, yep, that's my fucking... Is it his birthday month? Because he seems to only fight then. He had his last Ortiz fight, I think, was in November. Wilder Fury was set for November. Wilder and Joshua were supposed to fight in November, but they never went through. You know what I'm saying? Wilder's like, yep, only in November do I fight. But Wilder Ortiz too... Just watching Tyson Fury struggle in that fight... it has me so worried for this Ortiz fight, because Ortiz knocked down Wilder, and Wilder proved he had a chin, he can come back from adversity and do work, and he came back against Ortiz. But holy shit, man, that is not an easy fight. That Cuban southpaw is so technical. He's old as fuck. He can take punches. It is such a hard fight, and Wilder already got past him, and for him to say, yup, let's do it again, is crazy, putting his belt on the line when he has the money fight against in the rematch against Fury, and then eventually against Anthony Joshua. But man, that is going to be such a tough fight. It was a tough fight. It was a phenomenal fight the first round, and I promise you the rematch is not going to disappoint. I'm obviously rooting for my boy Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. Bomb Squad! To this day! To this day! That was one of the funniest interviews ever, but I know I'm at 27 minutes right now. Let me check this camera real quick. Before we continue, let me check this camera. Make sure it ain't fuck up. Because if it did, I'll be upset. Let me... Stopped it and started it back up. That's what I'm going to start doing, bro. I think that's what I'm going to start doing. At 27 minutes from now on, every time it hits 27 minutes, I'm just going to go back there, turn it off, and turn it on and record for another 30, because I can't stand that bullshit. But yeah, that Wilder-Ortiz fight, that is not going to disappoint. So stay tuned for that, November 23rd. I know it's like 2 months away, but it is what it is. And now, what we all been waiting for, UFC 243, Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya. Oh my God. The Holly Holm, Raquel Pennington fight, that got canceled because Holly Holm is injured. It's not something serious where she needs surgery. I think she said she had like a 30% tear in one of her joints or one of the cartilage or something like that. So she just needs time off. Outside of that, there's a few other fights on there, but the Tai Tuivasa's fighting on that card. And then we have your co-main is Al Quinta versus Dan Hooker, and then we have Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya. Dude, the Al Quinta Dan Hooker fight, yo, that is got fight of the night written all over it. So don't sleep on that card, don't sleep on that fight, because make sure you don't miss it, because that's gonna be fight of the night for sure. They're banging it out in that fight. Please believe me. That one's probably going to be fight of the night for sure. I have no idea who I got in that fight. Al's proven himself, man. Al has proven himself to be a motherfucker in that division. Dan Hooker is coming up, moving up, and wanting a shot at the title. And Al's the guy he's got to go through. Do not sleep on that fight. Now, the main card, the main event, Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya. Izzy, 17-0, undefeated, the most decorated striker the UFC has ever seen. Robert Whittaker moving up from welterweight, going up to middleweight, having that power, having that explosion, beating Yoel Romero twice. Sketchy on that second one, but twice. beating him with the way that Yoel was effective against him in the first round, in the first fight, coming back, using the leg kicks against Yoel. Robert Whittaker's got power. If anything that we saw from Kevin Gastelum versus Izzy, Kevin was able to get on the inside, dirty box, make things uncomfortable for Izzy, and he landed shots. And if Robert Whittaker is able to get in on the inside like Kevin did, it's going to be a bad night for Izzy because Robert Whittaker has some punching power at middleweight. He is explosive, strong, and he is knocked out quite a few people since he's moved up, and he feels comfortable at that weight. He's filled out that weight class, and he is the champ for a reason. He is he's been ever since he's moved up. I don't think he's lost since he's moved up. He's became champ and just running off to the races, and he's defended his belt multiple times and he's come out clean every single time. The only caveat to Robert Whittaker is motherfucker's always injured, bro. Every single time he fights, he gets some sort of crazy injury where he just cannot fight. He's had multiple. He's just always fucking injured. I don't know what's going on, man. So I know right now, from what I've seen, he is very healthy for this fight. I just want everyone to make weight, and I want everyone to be healthy because I want to see the best fight possible. Izzy, long, rangy, the most decorated striker, phenomenal takedown defense. It's like he says, man. He doesn't spray and pray. He aims and fires, and that he does. And he's a motherfucker, man. He's got phenomenal kicks. His question mark kick is so crisp. He doesn't rush in. Even when he has you hurt, he doesn't just rush in and try to end it quickly. He's still picking shots, popping you in the jaw. He's his striking is precision and timing, and he's just so fucking good at it. And between the two, man, I've been waiting for this fight for so long. This is one of the best fucking cards the UFC's put on all fucking year. I've been waiting for this fight. I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I just prayed for it. And when he was fighting Kevin, I was like, yo, just get through Kevin and you're going after Robert. I fucking love Izzy. Izzy's probably my favorite fucking fighter on the roster. If I'm being completely honest and if I'm really thinking about it, Israel Adesanya is my favorite fucking fighter on the roster. And I cannot fucking wait for this fight. I may be a little biased because of my joy, but I really like Robert Whittaker. I really, really like Robert Whittaker. I think he's been a phenomenal fucking middleweight champion. I think this is going to be his, even though you could lose at any second to Yoel Romero, and he faced him twice and beat him both times because Yoel just is tries to lull you to sleep and then explodes and tries to break your face. Yes, he does do that, but Yoel is not Izzy. Yoel is not precision striking. Yoel is not. He's all muscle, ground game, Cuban wrestling, and explosive shots and power. But Izzy is precision. He's timing. He's distance control. He's takedown defense. The way he dismantled Brunson. The way he handled himself in adversity against Gastelum. The way he outpointed Anderson Silva. He is just proven. The way he took down Brad Tavares, he is on another level. The best striker we've seen in UFC, and oh my god, I can't wait for this fight. My fucking dick is so hard talking about this fight. I like both guys. I don't want to see either one lose, but if it comes down to it, if I'm really got to think, and I'm trying to think, I think this fight doesn't go into championship rounds. Oh, I don't want to say that. I think Izzy ends it in 4 rounds or less. I don't think this goes to the 5th round. I think you see a TKO of Israel Adesanya TKOing Robert Whittaker in 4 or less rounds, maybe even in the 3rd round. I see his timing, his distance control just being too much for Whittaker. Whittaker getting a little flustered, try to get on the inside. And as I see as Whittaker, because Kevin's really fucking good at boxing and his head movement is really phenomenal. And he's got a chin. That Mexican chin is no joke. And he still got dropped so many times in that 5th round. To the point where even Rogan was screaming to call the fight. Robert Whittaker, if I see this correctly, the first round is going to be a feel-out round. I think Whittaker might even be the more aggressive fighter in the first round because Izzy's going to feel him out. Second round, Izzy's going to get the distance right. Third round, he's going to start popping off. And I see Robert Whittaker trying to get on the inside of Izzy because he's so long. He can't stand on the outside. He's going to be getting hit with kicks and punches. He's going to try to get on the inside. And I see Izzy just catching him and countering him as he's trying to come in over and over and then ending it in a TKO fashion. That's what I see. Who knows? Who fucking knows? It's the fight game. Anything can fucking happen. But, oh my God, we are literally... What is today? Today's Wednesday. And then when this show comes out, it's going to be Thursday or Friday. So when this releases. So it's Friday. So tomorrow or the day after, that big fucking fight's coming up. Holy shit. I can't wait. Israel Adesanya, your new middleweight champion. Holy fucking shit, man. I can't fucking wait. I am so stoked. Thank God for this fight to come in. And the last few cards that they have at the end of the year, these are some bangers, man. The October card's gonna be fucking good. The December cards, both of them so far, are stacked. What a fucking time to watch the fight game, man. What a fucking time to watch the fight game. Wilder Ortiz is coming up in November. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. And big ups to everyone that's fighting this weekend. I hope everyone had a good weight cut. I hope everyone makes weight. I hope everyone is healthy coming in. I just want to see a phenomenal display of martial arts. But holy shit, man. I think Izzy's going to come out on top. New middleweight champ. Let's fucking go. Nyjah stand up. And that's it for us. That's it for this episode of Counterpunch. I appreciate y'all listening, man. Stay tuned. Enjoy the fucking fights this weekend. Have a fucking blast. Kick it with everybody. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. I'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.